Nobody talks about this, but almost everyone over 60 wonders about it, quietly. What happens to sex, desire, and connection? After the kids are grown, the house is quiet, and the wrinkles start to settle in. For many, the answer feels like silence. Not because they don't care, but because the world around them acts like it doesn't matter anymore. Let's make something clear right now. Sex and intimacy after 60 are not dead. In fact, for many couples, they deepen, mature, and become more meaningful than ever before. But only if we talk about it. Only if we unlearn the myths, the shame, and the awkwardness that society puts on aging bodies. So in this video, we'll walk through the truth. What really changes what's still possible? What's holding people back, and how to bring intimacy back to life, emotionally and physically, at any age. And if you've ever felt confused, left out, or even broken because no one talks about this, you're not alone. Leave a comment, even just a heart. It might remind someone else that they're not the only one. And if you appreciate honesty, healing, and peace over pressure, subscribe to Elderly Minds. We don't whisper about aging here. We tell the truth gently. Now let's talk about why this conversation still matters. Not just for your relationship, but for your mental and physical health too. Why this topic is still important. Emotional and physical impact. Let's be real. Some people think once you're past 60, intimacy doesn't matter anymore. But here's the truth. It still matters, just in a different way. Because intimacy isn't only about sex. It's about being seen. It's about touch. It's about still feeling wanted, connected, and close to someone, in a world that sometimes makes you feel invisible. For many older adults, physical connection becomes more emotional, not less. A gentle hand on your back means more. Holding each other in silence carries more depth. Moments that once felt routine now feel sacred. And yes, sex can still be part of that. But the pressure changes. The goal isn't performance, it's presence. It's about being open to change while staying open to love. Medically, studies show that healthy intimacy in later life supports heart health, lower stress, better sleep, and even longer life expectancy. But emotionally, it brings comfort, healing, joy. And for those who've lost a partner or live with physical limitations, even talking about it again can feel like reclaiming something you thought was gone. So, no, this topic isn't outdated, and neither are you. Coming up next, let's break the first myth that desire disappears after 60. It doesn't. But what fuels it? That's what changes. Myth number one, desire disappears after 60. Here's a myth that's done more damage than most people realize. That desire simply fades after a certain age. That one day your body just switches off, and that's it. But the truth is, desire doesn't disappear. It changes. In your younger years, desire might have been fast, fiery, even impatient. But now it becomes slower, deeper, more connected to your heart than your hormones. That doesn't mean it's gone. It means it shows up differently. And here's something else we rarely talk about. Desire in later life isn't just about attraction. It's about feeling safe, loved, and emotionally understood. For many, that's what really turns the switch back on. Some people in their 60s and 70s report more satisfying intimacy than they did at 30, because there's no rush, no pressure, and no pretending. But when society tells you you're too old to want, you stop giving yourself permission to feel. So if you're listening to this and wondering, is it normal that I still want connection? Still think about sex? Still crave closeness? You see, it's not just normal, it's beautiful. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. You just have to stay honest with yourself. Up next, let's talk about another myth, that sex after 60 is dangerous or risky. We'll break that fear with calm, clear facts. Section 4, myth number 2, it's too risky or dangerous. Now let's address a fear that many seniors quietly carry. Is intimacy even safe at my age? It's a valid question, because yes, the body does change. Joints get stiffer, the heart may feel a little more sensitive, and certain conditions like high blood pressure, arthritis, or medications might raise concern. But here's the truth most people never hear. Intimacy, when approached gently and thoughtfully, is not only safe for most seniors, it's actually good for your health. In fact, research shows that sexual activity after 60 can improve heart function, support immune health, ease chronic pain, and even help regulate sleep. What matters is how you approach it. It's not about intense physical activity, it's about comfort, connection, and slowing things down. And yes, if you have a heart condition or specific medical issues, you should speak with your doctor. But don't feel embarrassed. They've heard it before. And the right guidance can ease fear and restore confidence. The danger isn't the act itself. It's believing you have to stop completely. So go gently. Listen to your body. Be patient with yourself and your partner. And remember, there is no right way. There's only your way. Coming next, the myth that many couples never speak out loud, that men lose interest and women lose confidence. Let's unpack what's really happening behind this belief. Section 5. Myth number 3. Men lose interest, women lose confidence. This one's quiet, but powerful, and it often creates distance in relationships without a single word being said. The myth that as men age, they simply lose all interest in intimacy, and that women with age lose their confidence, or worse, feel they're no longer desirable. Let's take a breath here, because this belief has hurt more people than we know. The truth? Men don't lose interest, but their relationship with desire shifts. It's not about testosterone. It's about emotional connection and internal stress. And women? Their confidence isn't lost. It's often buried under years of feeling unseen, unappreciated, or dismissed. What's really happening is this. As we age, we're no longer driven by surface attraction or performance pressure. We seek emotional safety, touch that's thoughtful, words that feel sincere, but the world rarely talks about what older bodies need. And so, silence grows. Men may withdraw out of shame or fear of not performing like they used to. Women may hesitate because they no longer feel physically perfect. But here's what matters most, and what so many couples rediscover when they speak honestly. Desire still lives here, in this chapter of life. It's just more tender, more emotional, more human. You don't need to prove anything. You just need to be present, with kindness, honesty, and time. Coming next, let's talk about emotional versus physical intimacy, and how aging changes the balance between them in some of the most meaningful ways. Section 6. Emotional intimacy versus physical intimacy. What changes, what deepens? When you're younger, intimacy often starts with the physical. A look, a touch, a spark. But as you grow older, something shifts. The physical remains, but emotional intimacy becomes the foundation. And in many ways, it becomes even more powerful than before. Because at this stage in life, you're not just sharing a body, you're sharing memories, losses, triumphs, quiet mornings and hard days. And when someone sees you fully, kindly, it's not just love, it's healing. That's what emotional intimacy is. It's feeling safe enough to be vulnerable, to say, I'm tired, or I miss how things used to be, or even, I still want you, I just don't know how to say it anymore. For many seniors, physical intimacy becomes gentler, slower, sometimes less frequent. But emotional closeness, that can deepen, even more than before. A soft touch on the shoulder, a long hug in the kitchen, a shared glance across a dinner table. These are moments of intimacy too. They don't make headlines, but they make relationships last. You don't need fireworks, you need presence, you need space to be fully seen and fully loved, just as you are now. Coming next, let's explore the quiet struggles that affect intimacy after 60. The things no one talks about, but so many live with daily. Section 7. Silent struggles. No one talks about medications, hormones, expectations. Here's the part most people never bring up, even in the doctor's office, even with their partner. Because when intimacy becomes difficult, we blame ourselves. We feel ashamed. We stay silent. But let's say it out loud here. You're not broken. You're not the only one. And you are not the problem. Aging brings changes. Some subtle, some frustrating. For women, menopause can cause dryness, discomfort, or even a total loss of interest. For men, issues like erectile dysfunction or reduced stamina are common, but rarely discussed with compassion. On top of that, many seniors take medications that directly impact intimacy, including blood pressure meds, antidepressants, anxiety or sleep medications, diabetes treatments, even some over-the-counter drugs. These can affect arousal, sensation, or energy without warning. And the worst part, most people don't know that's the reason. Then there's the emotional layer. You might be comparing yourself to your younger self, or feeling like your partner isn't interested, when really they're just afraid of rejection too. The result? Distance grows, not from lack of love, but from lack of understanding. The solution isn't to hide, it's to talk, gently, kindly, with your partner, with your doctor, and even if needed, with yourself. Your body may need support, your heart may need permission, but your desire to feel connected, that's still real and worth protecting. Coming next, the key most couples miss: communication. Not just about sex, but about fear, change, and closeness itself. Section 8, Communication and Connection, the most overlooked key. So many couples struggle with intimacy, not because they don't love each other, not because they've stopped caring, but because they've stopped talking, especially about the things that feel hard to say. Truth is, we grow up learning how to be polite, how to avoid uncomfortable topics, how to keep the peace. But healthy intimacy, especially after 60, isn't built on silence. It's built on soft conversations. You don't need the perfect words. You just need honest ones. I miss how close we used to be. I'm afraid my body won't respond the way it used to. I still want you, but I wasn't sure if you still want me. These aren't signs of weakness. They're signs of trust. And here's what most people find. Once the words are out, the pressure melts, the walls come down, the intimacy, emotional and physical, becomes possible again. Whether you've been with your partner for 2 years or 40, it's never too late to ask, how are you feeling lately about us? Because connection doesn't happen by chance. It happens by choice. And the choice starts with being brave enough to speak and soft enough to listen. If this resonates, know this: you're not alone. Many couples feel the same hesitation and still find their way back to each other. Up next, gentle, realistic tips for creating a meaningful, intimate life, no matter your age, ability, or starting point. Section 9, Realistic Tips for a Fulfilling, Intimate Life After 60. Let's take a breath and talk about the how. Because desire is beautiful, connection is meaningful. But without a few gentle tools, it's easy to feel stuck. Here are simple, real-life tips to help you reclaim intimacy in ways that feel natural, safe, and fulfilling. 1. Start with touch, not expectation. Hold hands, hug longer, sit closer. Physical closeness builds emotional connection without pressure. Let touch be about comfort first. Desire comes later. 2. Set the scene. Comfort matters: lighting, warmth, music, even a soft blanket. A relaxed environment can ease anxiety and help your body feel safe again. 3. Talk before, not during. If something feels different, talk about it gently beforehand. That way, there's less fear, more trust. Say, I'd love to feel close to you. Let's just take our time. 4. Use supportive tools, if needed: lubricants, pillows for positioning, even medically recommended options for ED. These aren't signs of failure. They're tools for connection. 5. Make time, but release the pressure schedule. Quiet time together, even if it's just cuddling or lying in bed without distractions. It doesn't always have to lead to something physical. Presence alone can be deeply intimate. 6. Keep laughing. Not everything will go perfectly, and that's okay. Laughter breaks tension and reminds you This is about joy, not performance. Intimacy after 60 isn't about getting it right. It's about feeling seen, loved, and safe. That's more than enough. Coming next, one final thought to carry with you, a reflection to help you let go of shame, reclaim your worth, and walk into this next chapter with softness and strength. Section 10, final reflection plus soft call to action. If you've made it to the end of this video, thank you. That means you care about your body, your relationship, and the quiet parts of yourself that still want to feel close, held, and alive. Here's what I want you to remember. You're not too old. You're not broken. And you're certainly not alone. Aging doesn't end intimacy. It transforms it into something slower, deeper, and often more sacred than ever before. You don't need to look the way you used to. You don't need to feel perfect or be the person you were 30 years ago. You just need to show up with love, patience, and honesty. That is intimacy. That is connection. And it's still yours. If this video made you feel seen, even just a little, drop A in the comments. It helps others feel less alone too. And if you'd like more calm, honest conversations like this, subscribe to Elderly Minds. We create peaceful, real videos for seniors. Because aging deserves to be honored, not hidden. Take care of your heart. It still has so much to give.